It's the Homemade Broadcast 427 live stream. My name's Will. This is Anna. How are you, Anna?
Hi. Hello.
Hold on. Technical difficulties starting off strong. All right, now you should be on.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Anna?
It's going great. Everything's awesome.
Anna Hummel's joining me from her palatial estate somewhere in St. Petersburg, Florida. She couldn't make it here today. Oh boy. Oh no, don't give away.
Sorry.
Don't give away your secrets. I don't want people to get jealous of how you're living here.
I know.
Yeah. I actually like this better, to tell you the truth.
Doing it remotely?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I think it looks better. The screen looks better right now. Your head's not cut off. That's really good. And I also like that no one's in my home. I like that a lot. I don't know. I think the trade-off is that your audio stinks because what are you recording on right now? A laptop?
An iPad.
An iPad.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know they still made those.
Yeah, I know. My laptop is no longer functioning right now, and I feel like I've been working with the iPad for like a year now, and I have computers at work, and so it's like, there's no need. So
can I tell you something? And it's a pet peeve, and you're doing it right now. Can I tell you what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So I noticed that when the pandemic happened, there was happened. I guess it's still happening technically, but you know what I mean. When it first started, it kind of caught everybody off guard for the most part. And there was these TV comedians, late night people, et cetera, that had to. Well, they decided they still wanted to do their programs. Samantha Bee, Conan O'Brien, Colbert, those people.
Ellen.
None of them had a microphone. And being in the biz, you would think that you would have some sort of, microphone handy, because you never know when you're going to be doing something like this or whatever. In fact, I'm just going to buy you one. Can I just buy you one?
Please don't. I actually have a I feel like I have several in my closet actually that
What are you talking about?
yeah. Here's
Oh
the
my
thing
lord.
though, but here's the thing. And I don't know if I'd be able to maybe I don't know if you ever helped me try to hook it up to an iPad before. I certainly don't want to buy just a laptop for this just this one situation, but I was gifted a whole podcasting set years ago and never used it. And I have a bunch of mics. Obviously, you can't just pop open the mic. You need to do it with the phone. Oh, sorry, with the Rode, not the Rodecaster, but whatever. All these different moving parts,
Yeah.
and not that I'm like technologically but a little bit. And I think I just I always just kind of skirted around it because I always had a studio to work with until
Yeah.
like the pandemic hit, and then it was like, oh, I actually need this. But then we were meeting in person for 2 years. So, but
Yeah, I think that's better. I know that you prefer it. I think it probably is a better product. And if I had more room here at my little setup, I think it would be even better. But I just don't.
yeah.
I'm in a tiny mold-infested apartment in downtown St. Petersburg, and you're not much better with where you're staying. So it is what it is. But okay, so I could excuse you too because it's not like you're rolling in dough, but you are in the biz, and I would like to help you if you have any questions. I know how to get a microphone on your iPad. I can
You
do that.
do?
Yes, I do. Of
Okay.
course,
Then I should
I'm in the
have
biz.
one by next week.
Okay,
I
terrific.
have it, but I mean in terms of it being set up, if you can help me, then
Yep,
we should be good to go
I
for
can.
next 'cause I have the equipment and I would like to actually learn how to use it. And
I will.
actually use it after 5 years of having it in my closet.
I will send you the connection pieces that you need. I just need a little bit more information, and we'll get it set up for you. But there was these. I mean, you really have no excuse if you are. These people are millionaires, multi millionaires like Conan and Colbert, et cetera, et cetera. They're talking to their laptops, and it looks terrible.
Yeah.
It's a bad look, number it just doesn't look professional. And I understand that I guess some of them are teetering on the age of boomers, and obviously boomers and technology don't go hand in hand, but they're not that old,
Mhm.
and also
And they could
you
pay someone to do it for them.
exact and I know it was short notice, but for God's sakes, you have access to networks. You have
Yeah.
CBS and NBC. You think they could
Send
rig
over one
something up
engineer,
for you?
they'll get it done. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
you're right. You're right. But to be honest with you, I never worked remotely ever.
The
Um,
whole time, never.
no.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
yeah. I mean, with podcasts and stuff, but in terms of anything that I was getting paid for, no, I didn't work remotely. I always went in person. Like you said, I always think it's a better product when you have everybody in the room. So, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
I understand, but we're gonna get you hooked up. So in case we decide to do this more,
Yeah,
I know
I feel bad
it's
because I have all the equipment. I just, I haven't put it together, but we'll get.
it's and this was kind of a good thing with COVID is that it really advanced this type of technology too. So
It did
I'm doing a Saturday show, a Saturday morning show.
remotely, right?
Well, no, not remotely. I've been going
Oh,
in, but I could potentially do it from home. Right now, it's too new, and it's like people paying for this service, so I want to make sure that they're happy and everything. But what I'm trying to do is, these are doctors, and they have beautiful wives and mistresses and children and all these things. So their time's valuable. It's Saturday morning. You don't want to have to travel, to St. Pete.
no, you just did a bunch of coke the night before.
Exactly, exactly.
Surgery in the morning, coke in the evening. You've
Oh, I
worked.
thought you were talking about me, and I was okay. Yeah, that
Oh,
makes way
not you.
more
I'm
sense
talking
than that.
about the successful people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't afford cocaine. Crack, yes, not
Yeah.
cocaine.
I
But
hear if I may pivot, I found this to be interesting. There's a new drug on the street, Will.
what's that?
I hadn't heard of it until today, which is kind of surprising because here I don't want to say I do drugs because I haven't done them in such a long time, but I do fun drugs or I have done fun drugs. Party drugs, things like that. Not
Crack.
things like heroin, not things like meth,
Yeah.
not things like fentanyl, at least not, purposefully. But I learned there's a new drug on the street, Will, and I believe it's in Florida, and apparently it's 50 times more potent than fentanyl, which is 50 times more potent than heroin. And it's called ISO for short. Have you heard of this?
I did see this. Yeah, it's Polk County, right?
It must be. I saved the article because I was very intrigued by, because I'm like, how is anything more powerful than fentanyl? Because fentanyl was like the top of like the drug that was killing everybody. But now there's something like even more potent than that, and by a magnitude of 50. So it's like, what the what? So I find this very intriguing, and apparently it's in Tampa. You said it's. I thought maybe you're right. Maybe
I
it
thought it
was.
was Polk County, but
You might be right about that. Let's see. New drug more powerful than fentanyl. All right. Isotone referred to as ISO.
uh-huh.
But yeah, it just says Florida, and Attorney General Ashley Moody is issuing a warning about this ish because it's gonna kill you. But I don't know. I don't know exactly where they found it in Florida, but I imagine you're probably right. I would guess Polk County, if anywhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. And with fentanyl, obviously it's a terrible, terrible drug, and it's killing a lot of people, and kind of made on purpose. So I've listened to a podcast semi recently and kind of talked about where this is coming from. Do you know where fentanyl is coming from? And I'm sure that's where this drug is coming from too.
Fentanyl, the raw ingredients are coming from China, but the Mexicans are concocting it, putting it together.
The cartel, right down
Yeah,
there, and bringing it over the
cartel. I'm
border.
not sure exactly which one. Maybe the Sinaloa. I'm not quite sure, but I remember watching a Vice video where these Chinese cargo ships, they don't come to shore, but they leave them in like buoys, like all the raw ingredients for fentanyl, and they leave them.
Uh-oh. She frees up. See, this is the thing. This is the bad thing with doing it remote. All right. Well, Darth Alika is saying he loves the show. Thank you very much. Hopefully we get Anna back here very soon. This is weird. This is like when I do the show with Johnny and he just drops because he does his show from home now too, because he has that ability. It's a nice thing. COVID just advanced things very quickly. Let me text Anna. This is bad for radio. I know. I'm sorry. You froze. I'm just going to send that to her in the meantime. If anybody wants to come in here, I've been meaning to do this anyways. If anybody's interested, put it in the chat. If you want to stop in, I think you could even do it from your phone if you're interested in doing that. And I can send you a link if you're interested in popping in and saying hello. Photo a day. He says, Photo Day Pro. Sorry. He says, this is my first show. Well, welcome. I'm sorry it's not going technically smooth. But Anna knows, and she'll be back here in a second. And don't let this discourage you. That's all I can say. And the good thing is I can at least edit this out of the podcast. If you are watching it, I hope you consider, sharing it. Hit the share button there. I saw Mike from St. Pete is right here, by the way. Thank you, Mike. He shared the Instagram story to his St. Petersburg Pipe Club and to his personal account. And I really appreciated that. I was telling him, it's the word of mouth is the best form of advertising. So I appreciate him doing that. And, feel free to, to do that. Help me out. That would be great. Let's see. Mike says it wasn't enough that Flocka was making dudes chew people's faces off. They needed to crank it up a notch. Yeah. Flocka is, that's the one that's like the fake. Is it like meth or something? The reptilian one, the Russian one. I don't know. That one was a pretty scary one. Yeah. Or the basalts deal. I don't know if I buy the 50 times stronger. How do you even get stronger than fentanyl? This supposedly, if you hold it in your hand, it will kill you. I don't think so. I think that's a myth. Not positive. I'm not going to try it out and experiment or anything, but I don't know. That just doesn't seem right. But this new one is 50 times stronger than that. And the deal is that obviously there was a opium dens that he kind of sent to China for I guess to kind of wipe them out and get them addicted to drugs. I'm sure there's way more behind it. I don't know the full history behind the opium dens, but it was a big deal, and they were in San Francisco, and they kind of ravaged the Chinese community. And I heard a speculation that maybe this is kind of like a payback scenario where they're making these drugs and getting Americans hooked on them and be like, well, now you get what you get, you get your comeuppance. So I found that very interesting. Again, I don't know if that's true or not, but let's check on Anna real quick. Can't believe this. Our first go around and this happens. Uncanny. Unbelievable. Oh, I know this person. Katrinka says, love you guys. We love you too, Katrinka. Thank you. Appreciate it. Photo Day Pros says, I miss her on the Johnny B show. You three were absolute firecrackers together. Yeah, we were. I missed that too. And I think Johnny B might pop in here. I don't know if he's listening. I told him to pop in if he was around. And I haven't heard from him yet, but we'll see if I can send him a text. There's only so much I can do here. I'm a one-man operation, so doing my best. Brandon Johnson said, how is fentanyl made? Who's making it? Blow up the fentanyl factory with a drone strike. Gasman. Yeah. Oh, hey, Gasman. Yeah, that would be a good idea. That's a good strategy, I suppose. I think there's probably multiple locations maybe happening, so I don't know how easy it is to drone strike every single one of them, especially if they're on, foreign soil, which I believe they are. I believe that's against the Geneva Convention and would lead to some sort of world war, but maybe it'd be worth it. I don't know. I'm sure there's some sort of CIA op that they're planning for that right now. Using my phone as a hotspot, she says. Wonderful. All right. Sooner the better. Hopefully she'll be back here very soon. I would like that. If you want to get in touch with the show as well, you can call 813-693-2124. There's a HMBradio.com is my website. And if you go there, there's a little box to sign up for the mailing list. And the mailing list is important. I'll send you 2 emails a year, but you never know, what's going to happen when we eventually get thrown off of here. And so go sign up for the mailing list to subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff, so you can listen to me talk about drugs. That would be good. All right, here she is. Hey, Anna.
Hi, sorry.
That's okay. I just was saying it's uncanny how the first time we try something, it goes bad.
Yeah. It's crazy that would happen, except totally expected.
I did. That's okay. I can edit out that part out of the podcast at least.
Awesome.
The podcast drops Sunday night at 12:01, which is essentially a replay of this show, maybe a little bit bonus stuff in there. Still subscribe to it, give it 5 stars, and again, please share it. It really helps out. So, and I was just telling them that this is revenge. These drugs, the fentanyls, the ISO is revenge for the opium dens.
For the opium dens?
Yeah. Are you familiar with those at all?
What do you mean, like the you're not talking about the pill mills? What is an opium den?
No, you remember like in the when they first got over to China and they just started setting up these opium. I don't really know the whole history behind why they did this to the Chinese, but the Chinese got like really hooked on opium. And even in San Francisco too, they had the opium dens.
Huh.
You never heard of that before? Really?
I know that China took control of a lot of the opium in Afghanistan, and I want to say 90% of the world's opium is produced in Afghanistan. But to be honest, I don't know much about the whole the Chinese getting hooked on it deal.
Oh, well, they did, and it set them back quite a long time. But some speculated that these types of drugs are kind of revenge for that whole thing, and I don't know. It sounds just as feasible as anything else. I'm going to send Johnny B a message too and see if he wants to pop in. He did celebrate his 50th birthday. Oh, there he is.
I know.
There, send him a link. My bad. He messaged me 16 minutes ago.
50. Let's have a few words about 50 before Johnny gets on board, if he does. What comes to mind when you think of 50 years old? Is this a person that is old? Is this a person that is middle-aged? Like what would go through your mind turning 50 years old? Because you're pushing 40 right now. But
yeah, 50. I know. 50.
It's a landmark year, I would say, unlike most decade years, if that makes sense. Because it's half a century.
It's a big
Like,
birthday. It is
yeah.
a big birthday. I don't know. I am approaching 40. I got a few more years left. Not many, but a few more. And I know that that's I don't know. I feel like, when do you get your AARP card? 55?
Yeah.
Right. That's when you're old. That's
Okay.
like
You've got 5 more years of I don't want to call it youth, but before you're what, elderly, I guess. I don't know what to tell you.
yeah. Yeah. Essentially, let's talk to him about it because he is 55. I'm going to add him to the stream here. Hey, man. How's it going, brother?
I am not 55. I am legally 50, but I don't feel older today. I still feel like a youngster, man. I'm a little pep in my step. I got up today. I was moving around a little faster, I'm trying to, trim up a little bit, I'm good.
Friends?
He's on a mission. I told him, I said, I said, Johnny, you have to go treat yourself to some sort of thing on your birthday. You can't not celebrate. You should. And he's really dedicated to this weight loss, which I commend him for. And that's wonderful. However, if there's any day to spoil yourself and enjoy something, it's today. Oh, there she goes again. She's gone.
Poor thing.
She's popping out. This is the first time we've tried this, and it's a disaster.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. We experience a little bit of that from time to time, on the FM show. But it's tough. Was she on like a phone on her patio?
So I guess her internet went down, and then she used her phone as a hotspot, and it's just not cutting it. She's got Cricket or something wireless, so I don't know what she's here. Get her back. There you go. Hey.
Back. I don't know what's going on. I never have issues with my internet, and all of a sudden now I have all the problems.
Because it's the live stream, man. It's the live stream. That's what's up.
When things
Nice.
go wrong. Happy birthday, Johnny B. Holy shiz with the D.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Birthdays aren't what they used to be. They get more depressing the closer to the Grim Reaper you get. But
God, Jesus.
You know what I mean? Like you start, the older you get, you start thinking about mortality a little more. Somebody sent me a message yesterday. They're like, happy 50th. You're now just as close to 80 as you are to 20. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Never say that to me again. But the fact is, we're only here for a second in the big scheme of things. So like Anna, for instance, she's only here for a second in the big scheme of things. And, you just got to enjoy it while we're here. I'm trying not to be depressed over it.
Oh my God, what a mess. I don't even know if I can use this. Do you think it's as usable to edit up and then try to make a podcast out of it?
You got to be creative with it. I've done that in the past.
Yeah. Yeah, Anna, why don't you cut off your cam and just use the microphone? Okay, perfect.
You can't see my face.
Even better.
It's probably for the best, honestly.
Yeah,
we're good.
For real. Yeah, happy birthday. I don't want to
Thank you.
my face.
No, it's good.
Did you treat yourself other than guilt of eating carrot cake?
No, I mean, I was, and I don't feel like I robbed myself of any happiness. I had a meeting yesterday for lunch with a potential client, in the comedy realm, and this guy was buying lunch. I had the whole menu, whatever I wanted, and I ended up ordering like a shrimp wrap and some steamed broccoli, and it was delicious, and I was happy with it. And then for dinner, I wanted to go out. Leah really wanted to take me out, and I wanted to have a delicious dinner, something nice, but not go crazy. So I went out and I had a nice piece of sea bass with some crab topping. That was a little bit of a buttercream sauce. So, I haven't had dairy in 5 weeks.
That's keto.
Yeah, well, I'm not really doing keto. I'm doing a calorie deficit more than anything, trying to do, because that's like the foolproof. You can't really fail if you're in a calorie deficit. So
right.
I'm trying to do that, and I'm avoiding sugar altogether. I haven't had sugar in 5 weeks. I haven't had dairy, no alcohol in 5 weeks. It's crazy. So I'm trying to just be clean and calorie deficit, just to get me, get myself on track. And as soon as I hit, that 100-pound mark, then I'll loosen up a little bit and allow myself, to live a little bit of a maintenance kind of a life and not be a complete weirdo. But yeah, so we went out, I had a piece of fish. And then for dessert, we did share one piece of this carrot cake. It was this molten carrot cake, and it was
Ooh.
delicious. Oh my God, it was so good. It was the first time I had sugar in 5 weeks, and I thought I'm gonna probably, mess my pants because my body's like, "What's all this?" But I didn't poop my pants. It was great.
That's tremendous. Good for you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I on this journey where you haven't weighed today. You're gonna weigh in tonight on the Johnny B show, right?
Right. Yeah.
Let me bring her back. There she is. Okay.
I have a feeling it's not going to be good results this week, but you know what? That's fine. I haven't cheated at all. Like as far as I haven't eaten anything crazy except for that carrot cake. But it's been one of those weeks where it's like I haven't slept well this week. I've been doing a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of different things going on. I had some insomnia for a couple of days, so we'll see. I do feel lighter. I feel better. Sometimes the scale doesn't always reflect results. Like I do my clothes are fitting, really, really well. I'm, so things are on the right path. So we'll see what the weigh-in is tonight for weigh-in Wednesday on our show later on the Bone.
Yeah, I haven't weighed myself, and I'm trying to lose weight too. And I don't really talk about it because I feel like I'm stealing your thunder if I talk about it. But
No,
I haven't weighed myself in a while, but I'm doing pretty much the same thing you're doing is, the calorie deficit thing. And then I just eat 2 of those NTT meals that I get. And I had an orange today, the Sumo Citrus. You ever had those?
is that a brand of orange? A Sumo Citrus?
It's got like a little nub on top of it, and it's
like
super
a
easy to
like a
peel.
navel orange.
It's a mandarin orange, but it's
Okay.
like a crossbreed. Some Japanese guy made it.
Oh.
It's I don't know how they do that, but he crossbred this thing. It's amazing. They're so good. They're a little bit sweeter than a mandarin. And what?
Her internet's in a calorie deficit right now.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
So
poor
I
thing.
have like one of those, 2 of those meals. So I'm sitting at like 1,200 calories a day.
Yeah.
And then I go run or whatever. And so I haven't weighed myself. I'm very curious though, but I could definitely tell, I can feel shrinking a little bit. And I got to weigh myself. I saw a scale at my friend's house and I was like, oh, good. And I stepped on it, didn't work. So I was like, I hope I didn't break a scale.
Right.
But for whatever reason, it didn't work. But I'm curious because I'm working hard, but I'm almost afraid because I want to keep doing what I'm doing. And I don't want to get discouraged by stepping on a scale.
Mm-hmm.
And saying, this is useless. Just forget about it. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, and we talk about that all the time. Being discouraged. Like I have a feeling tonight. It's not going to be great results on the scale. But like I said, I do feel better in a lot of the other ways. Like just little things like getting out of bed. How you feel when you get out of bed. Do you hop up on your feet? Do you gradually get up onto your feet? Do you limp to the bathroom when you get out of bed? These are things that fat middle-aged people, this is very normal. Even not even fat, just people in their 40s, you start feeling this stuff, and it's very common. Even in your 30s, you start feeling like, oh crap, why are my bones hurting so much? Why is all this happening? And all those things have gotten better over the last few weeks. So like today, I get out of bed and first thing I do is go walk the dogs. Before let's peel the curtain back for the listeners. Before I would go to the back patio door, I would open the door for the dogs, and then I would sit on the arm of the couch and wait for them because I just didn't even want to be standing at that point. Now I'm going outside with them and I'm almost running with them. I'm out there messing around with them. I'm, like being a little bit more of a normal person. I'm doing my morning walks, doing a mile minimum, so, these are the things that, that isn't really showing on the scale, every day, but it's things that I can see. And like I said, my clothes are fitting a lot better than, even though I'm wearing a shirt that says butter, bacon, caffeine, and carbs and bourbon. It's a Voodoo Chef shirt, but
that's the real. That's almost better than what the scale says is when you can fit into a shirt that you fit into.
I got this at a Voodoo Chef event a year ago. Never worn it because it wouldn't fit me at all. It was like a halter top. If I tried to put it on, it was the biggest size. Yeah, exactly. It was the biggest size he had. Now I'm starting to put these try these shirts on. I'm like, okay, pretty cool. I like it, so yeah, I mean, and it's only 5 weeks in, I'm excited to see where I'll be before, the wedding, is which the goal is in December to be down 100 pounds. So far 22 pounds on the scale, but I feel like I feel 40 pounds lighter physically, but we'll see. Yeah.
Will, I don't know if you already talked about this, but are you still taking the Fen?
It's not Fen, but yeah, I do have. I took last week off because I destroyed my feet. If you want to see that, go on the Johnny B Show Facebook page or the Instagram. I got new shoes and I decided to wear them without socks.
Who does that?
I don't know. I'm an idiot. I don't know. And so I didn't take the meth last week because I couldn't walk. So I couldn't really do any exercise. I just took the full week off, and I didn't want to waste the medicine if wasn't going to get the full benefit. I think the thing is with that is that you have the energy to like do more than you normally would, exercise harder. I think I'm pretty used to it though by now. You don't have that initial kick anymore, and I only have about 2 weeks supply left of that, and then I'm done with it. I don't think
you want to up the ante.
Huh?
Keep it going? You don't want to up the ante and keep it going?
I think you'll die.
But you'll be hot.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I kind of got it under control anyways. I think it kind of sets the pattern for you too, of what you how you kind of spend your days and what time you eat. I don't know, maybe not. I feel like I'm going to be good to go afterwards though. But yeah, I got a few weeks of that, and I haven't stepped on the scale though, Anna, so I don't know what I weigh right now. But I feel
you do look slimmer. I've seen you the last few weeks. You definitely look slimmer.
Yeah, and some other people who don't see me regularly have told me that. So I'm like, oh, okay. That's another sign, is when you fit into shirts and people who haven't seen you in a while go, oh, you look like you're slim. That's yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You were really panicked about that. I remember.
I mean, it was shocking. It was the number that popped up on the scale was so disturbing that I think I told you guys, but it was like when in Tommy Boy, where he messes up the door at the gas station and then tries to fix it back together. When David Spade opens the door, it just falls off, and he goes, "What'd you do?" That's the way my doctor looked at me, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm scared. Yeah, it's good to get back on track.
A little meth doesn't fix. So
yeah, I mean, I will say it does have its benefits. Certainly, you can't do it long term, but I'm enjoying it while I have it. I got about 2 more weeks of it, and then I'll gain 30 pounds.
Hell yeah!
Exciting. Yeah.
Now, before I have to peace out quickly, and I know this is a topic that no one's discussed. But do you think the slap was staged? Because I still don't know.
Okay, so Johnny and I have talked about this.
Okay.
I think it's fake.
Okay.
But I think everything's fake. I think it's fake for a few reasons. Now, I saw there's a lot of, much like anything else, there's a lot of misinformation going on out there on the internet. Yeah, I saw a pretty clear Photoshopped image, but it looked real. Photoshop, you can, it looks real. And it was a pad that somebody, I guess, Photoshopped on Chris Rock's face. And the implication was that it softens the blow. And we're obviously talking about the Oscars, Chris Rock, Will Smith getting into a fight, essentially, and Will Smith smacking Chris Rock at the Oscars. But I don't think it works that way. I think if you still get slapped, you're still getting the impact. So I don't know what a little bit of padding would do for that.
Did you see the videos of Will Smith showing how to fake slap someone?
I did
I'm
see
sure that
that.
you saw those surface. And I was like, oh, what was this from like 15 years ago? But the kid was wearing a mask. So I think it was pretty recently because it was COVID times. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. I know that viewers and people watching these award shows, the audience members have plummeted. Nobody watches these award shows anymore. But maybe they will now, because they might want to see if there's going to be violence, a fight, a brawl, if you will.
So it had before the slap happened, it was bombing. Nobody was really watching it. Then the slap happened. It went viral on social media. Ratings jumped up 56%. It was still the second lowest audience ever for the Oscars, even with that 56% bump from what I saw. Obviously I'm conspiracy minded, so I go, I know what this is about. It's like, it's just that nobody's going to remember anything else about that Oscars except that moment, and the Oscars are going to become the VMAs. Kanye jumping on stage and yelling at Taylor Swift, and they're going to have to one up it because obviously the ratings went up from this.
Hugely.
So they're going to have to keep it going. There's going to have to be events that happen now in order to get people tuned in. And I think that there's a lot of value in that, especially like the Oscars type of thing, because there's a lot of there's a prestige factor there. There was, Clark Gable, there's Marilyn Monroe, all these people. When you didn't know that these people were empty vessels, you kind of looked up to them. You saw them in the movies, and you kind of admired them, and they're so glamorous, but they're morons. I mean, they're not human beings. They're robots who are, programmed to do whatever people want them to do. That's what acting is, right? And then it became, uber political. I guess it even was in the 70s and stuff, but you really got to, with the invention of social media, we really got to know these celebrities, and we found out that they are awful.
Vapid, soulless demons.
Yes, exactly. Very well said. And then I think people went, I don't need to watch this. Also, I didn't know any of the movies. Did you all know any of the movies? The people that won for the movies?
Who's gone to a movie theater in the last 2 years? I don't even know.
I have, but not to see something called CODA. Like I didn't even know what that was. It was like is an acronym for something. I don't know. I mean, I go to see like Ghostbusters because I like to go to the movies to be entertained, or Spider-Man or something. But yeah, no, nobody does. Nobody goes to the movies for that crap. And you're right, Will. Social media has really opened up a lot of people's eyes to just what scumbags most of these people are. The Hollywood machine. It's just a bunch of doo-doo. It's a bunch of crap. And it's made me hate so many people and have no respect for so many people, including athletes and people like that. Like before, like nobody knew what Larry Bird thought about things. Nobody knew what, Larry Zonka thought about things back in the old days. But now we know that LeBron James is opinionated on everything that Hollywood tells him to be opinionated on. And I think he's a giant douche because of it. Now I don't want to watch a Lakers game because I think these guys are a bunch of prima donna little bitches. Excuse my language. But you know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with Hollywood. Like, I wish I would have never known so much about Will Smith. I wish I didn't have to dislike him now because of how he did it. And it wasn't about just smacking Chris Rock. It was about him stealing the entire show with his little outburst, his little, let me prove that I'm a man to my wife and I'm not this giant cuck that everybody knows that I am, and that she openly cheated on me with a teenager, and now I got to man up. But he stole the thunder. Like nobody even is thinking about Questlove winning an Oscar. You know what I mean? Nobody's thinking about anybody else. He took the limelight away from all these people that work so hard to get to a point where they're even nominated for an Oscar. He did it all for the most selfish reasons ever, so he could prove to his bald-headed bitch wife that he is a man. Shut up. I hate it. I hate him for it. I really do. I dare him to slap me in the face.
What's funny about that? Well, it's not funny. It's really comes down, like, you knew it was coming, and it was, why are these jokes? Forbes put out an article. I follow Forbes on Twitter. Forbes put out an article the next day. Why are these jokes always at the expense of Black women?
Great question. Great question.
I guess Donald Trump is a Black woman. I had no idea. Oh my God, he gets razzed all the time. And let's keep in mind too, Chris Rock is Black. It seems like that's valuable information to have.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was grateful for. I'm like, I'm glad both parties here are Black. Otherwise, there would be riots in the streets.
Oh well, yeah, but I mean, it's even still happening, even with. And Chris Rock produced a documentary, didn't he, about black women's
Good
hair.
hair. Good
Yes.
hair. I saw it. It was great. It was a great film.
It wasn't a racial thing at all, but of course, in this day and age, it took about 30 seconds for everybody to make it that. I mean, if you ever go on TikTok, and I know, Will, you don't, but I mean, I'm on there and I like to scroll and check out the doo-doo that's festering in there. And there's a lot of them out there now, or there's these influencers on TikTok, that a lot of black folks, younger, and probably more girls than not. And I see him saying, hey, white people, you don't get to have an opinion on what happened between Chris Rock and Will Smith. And I'm like, we're all consumers. We all saw it happen.
And
everybody, we all get to have an opinion on it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to shut up because I'm a white guy that saw something happen on the Oscars.
Shame on you.
What are you talking about? I don't get to have an opinion. And the other big opinion out there is, this is, we don't understand black rage between two black people. It's like, what are you talking? Are you trying to say, as a black person, I wanted to respond to this lady. I want to say, are you trying to say that you guys can't control yourselves? Like, what are you saying?
Don't say that. Don't say that.
But you know what I'm saying? That you're being ridiculous.
Yeah.
That you're talking down about your own people, which is wrong. Like, what are you doing? These folks are they're human beings like everybody else. It's called equality. Let's treat everybody the same. Don't say, well, Will Smith couldn't control himself because he's a black. Will Smith's a 1%er. He is super elite. He smacked a person on live TV and got to sit back down and enjoy a drink and go accept an award later instead of being drug out like anybody else that would have hit anybody else in a public setting.
I agree. I do have to get going, and I will be leaving on purpose this time. But sorry about the connection issues. I think I got it sorted out, but I do apologize for that.
Well, Otto, this was a disaster, and thank you for coming. Anyways, we're gonna get you set up with a microphone next week, and we'll talk. Thanks for stopping by.
All right, bye guys.
Love you.
All right, Johnny. So yes, I agree. And let's just wrap, I guess we can kind of wrap this up here. I didn't really know what else to talk about. I was like, I don't know if the Chris Rock thing is it still the biggest story in the country? I'm not sure. It very well may be, but the hot takes from media was what I was really interested in. And it was all the regular offenders, Forbes, The Atlantic. I don't know. Have you ever read The Atlantic?
I can't get through a whole article, but I know what they're about. I read their headlines. Like, I'm a lot like you. I read headlines. I get humor from a lot of it, and then I'll delve into the body of the work if I want to. But then it takes about three sentences to figure out where we're going, and sometimes I don't go all the way.
It's I think it's written for journalists where they kind of fart in a wine glass and then like.
Sommelier of doo-doo news. Yes, I like it.
Yeah, it's like Jamel Hill, the former ESPN anchor. She writes for The Atlantic, and it's just nonstop. I don't know. You would think even people that were into that would be like, can you just tell me about what's going on with the team I like, please?
That's what's happening, though, Will. I notice it. You notice it. A lot of this is being like driven so hard that even people that were, like-minded are getting tired. There's a fatigue where you go, all right, dude, like, can we just stop already? Like, it doesn't have to always be this, like she's a talented journalist, but she just seems to be on this one-way track with one mission, and it's like, I don't want to consume it. Like, I know what you're doing, and it's disgusting. And I'm that way with so many people that I know are talented, that I know are good at what they do, but I don't want to listen anymore to so many different people. And it's down to even great entertainers, guys like Jon Stewart, guys like Howard Stern, that I'm like, I used to be such a big fan of, that I go, I just can't with these people anymore. And it's sad. And they did it. I didn't do it.
Yeah. It does suck that there's, it's weird though. Like, even a lot of the big offenders online that are friends of ours, and then we see them in person and they're lovely.
Perfect.
Lovely human beings. And they don't talk anything, anything politics related and they're great. Because I think I don't like a lot of people, and then I see them and I go, "Oh, you're cool. I forgot you were kind of cool, and you had a life, and you weren't just a loser online posting to." I don't know what you expect to get out of these posts, but I guess it's some sort of virtue signal and social capital that they kind of gain from that. But my God, you just knew it was coming, and sure enough, all the big offenders came out with these articles that this was offensive to black women always get the short end of the stick, and I just go, Chris Rock's black though.
Yeah, and by the way, Will, I do want to say this for people listening. Most of the people that are posting these things, saying that this is a black issue, white people stay out of it. It's white people that are posting this stuff. Most of the people that I've seen, I think most black people see this and go, "You're being ridiculous." It's who they are. It's these super duper woke white folks. I'm like, calm it down. Hey, Tabitha, do an article about making gel, or making whatever you were doing before this became trendy. Like, calm it down.
I will say that when people say you can't have an opinion, I don't agree with that, but I do agree with that you don't always have to have an opinion too.
Yeah.
Stoic. Learn from Marcus Aurelius. Be stoic. Nobody has to compel you to take a side or do anything like that. I feel like I have to, and you have to, because we do a radio show 5 nights a week, and we kind of have to have a take on something either way. But you don't need to have a take on everything. Just let it go, because you're really powerless to do anything about it anyways. I roll my eyes when I see articles like that, but you laugh at them too. I get a lot of joy and go, look at this. It's fun. It's fun. It's crazy, but it's fun.
One thing and also to kind of to walk back to what you were talking about with people online that are just psychos, and then you talk to them in person and they're sweet people. The thing that I've learned to do over the last couple of years, since things have really just gotten out of control since the lockdown, it's like everybody has an opinion and it's one way or the other. The thing that I've learned to do is separate the person that's on social media from the real person, because they're not the same two people. And if I wanted to, I can name 10 local comedians right off the top of my head that online, I can't stand them. They're just repulsive, but in person,
lovely,
good friends of mine. And the thing I've learned to do that nobody and a lot of people can't seem to do, and one of the only things I'm proud of myself for, is I'm able to separate that, and also not dislike somebody because they have a political opinion that's different than mine, or because they have a social opinion that's different than mine. I'd be hypocritical, to dislike somebody because they feel a certain way about a certain topic that I don't. I should be able to be friends with that person, and they should be able to be friends with me. And I think most people in real life are, but on Facebook and Twitter, they can't be.
Yeah. There's just that thing that you feel free saying certain things because they're not right in front of you, because you might get smacked, much like a la Will Smith and Chris Rock. Believe it or not. So
unreal.
Tie it up, I guess. By the way, there was that did you? I know you saw it because you said what? That's one of the biggest offenders, and that's one of the people lovely in person, but it's a local comedian, and it just makes me cringe every time I post something. But God bless him. I like him.
I love him. Yeah. I read posts and I go, what are you doing? And then I let it go. I don't let it, fester and go, and get upset about it. I just go, you know what? That's what they do online, but in person, I'll be the first to give that person a hug,
100%. Johnny, you saved the show. Thanks so much for coming to the stream. Unfortunately, it didn't work out with Anna very well. She got here at the end, but thanks for coming by. And somebody asked if we were going to be live tonight. We will be live tonight on the Bone, 10 p.m. tonight after Ask the Dom. Johnny B, if you aren't following, I'm sure you probably are if you're watching this, but Johnny B Comedy and Johnny B Tampa on Instagram, Johnny B Comedy on Twitter. And you got your podcast now, the Johnny B Sides Rockin'. And
Yeah.
you find that just putting in Johnny B-Sides, and it comes right up. Hit the subscribe button, give it 5 stars, much like the homemade broadcast. And thanks for coming in. I'll talk to you tonight.
Yeah, buddy. Talk to you in a couple hours. Everybody have a wonderful day.
I got to go edit this audio now.
All right, buddy.
Take a long day. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.